Um, I built a software company from sort of one person through a 20-person size, and at that point, it kind of imploded. Because at that point, we were trying to work on production, administration, sales all at the same time, and we had a big overhead, and the stresses got to the partnership, it collapsed. Did you have any similar situations where things looked like they were going to fold up? Did you retain control of your company at all times, or did you take on partners? How did that work?
No, I had partners from the very beginning. So we were three guys, the two Czechs and one Canadian Czech, if you like. But we were there from the very beginning, in the year 2000. And we are still very close together and building the company together. Of course, you need to make that step back, right? As I was talking about to retreat sometime. It happened to us in two of our offices 2 years ago when the crisis hit. So we went through some layoffs, not in all of our offices, in two our offices, the major one here in Toronto and in Prague. But here we hired all the people back within several months then because we got stronger, refocused. Similarly, a little bit longer process in the Czech Republic. We are now in greater numbers than we were before, but we had to make that step back.
And so you were equal partners, or you're the controlling partner always?
Well, we are equal partners. We have that agreement that we have. This is an interesting thing, and people were telling me, smart people, that can never, ever work. We manage by consensus. We have to agree. So if one of us disagrees, that thing won't happen. Doesn't matter that the other two overvote. We have shareholder agreement which simply prohibit that. Like, we have to be in consensus. But we are smart people, I think, and we are good people enough. Our focus is the same. We might have different experiences and different views, but we can articulate, we can sell the idea to each other, and then we do it. So for those 10 years, this is how we, to have partner where you collide is horrible, because all that value and part of your life is taken away, right? So it's a big risk. You have to know whom you are partnering with. It needs to be well thought through. Simply the personalities needs to match. Also, if you have some partner who wants the cash out, as an entrepreneur, you are the last one to be ever paid. And this is why people cannot build bigger businesses sometimes, because they run out of money if they don't manage cash flow, right? And one thing which is really poisonous to cash flow, if you start taking the money out. Because you cannot hire the right people, pay the right people. You cannot wait if you get customers who, for whatever reason, are not paying you, right? That might kill you. You might have great organization, great everything, great product, great people, but if you run out of cash, you are out of business, right? So these are things which need to be managed. I think that our company is very, very conservative. We always paid lots of attention also to the financial management.
What's the new next challenge you are going to take? Have you ever think about your belief, your value embedded in your business to do things more than just entrepreneurship? Like, you are doing BI, data mining, right?
Yeah.
There's behind the customer could be enormous. Have you ever think about you can do something more than like to make a big influence?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So technically, we are very big in data governance, what's not only IT, but also business consulting. We are writing business solutions for our customers. We are now playing the synergies between the software and consulting. That goes into a variety of solutions, because we have the rule-based engine which is behind that software what we have, and that could be used for a number of smart solutions like risk management, for example, or fraud detection, etc. So we are going into those fields, and we are there, and we will just moving ahead. We are growing in verticals. We do more and more business in healthcare with governments. We tapped also to one area of application development, anything what has to do with real-time computing or context-based computing, anything what has to do with moving the data warehousing into real-time decision-making. When something happens, that the intelligence is right away computed and actions are automatically taken. So this is a huge space, and so probably these people are not into it. You understand what I am saying. Our space is really big where we can grow, and we are doing that, I think, quite well. So how we last question, or how we have it?
How good, guys? Can we take one more? I'll do one more question. Go ahead.
Okay, the lady.
This question is basically related to the last point, the French point.
Okay.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for sharing, all these points, and they were very motivating. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
But the only thing that was still in my mind is basically, the whole painting thing, that you wait for the right time and you make sure that you're building that masterpiece, and then
Right.
the word comes and whatever. But the thing is, my question is really about when is the time to decide whether you should stay in the business or quit? Like whether you are waiting for the whether it's right to basically wait, or
Yeah.
so how do you decide that?
So
Because you have painted a wrong picture and you're just waiting and waiting.
Um,
So I know patience is a virtue,
yeah.
but I know in business, the right decision at the right time is the key.
okay, so the we had been. That's interesting how it's the value of a company. When you have small business, almost doesn't have much more value because it's you principally who are behind the business. You remove yourself out of the business, and the business cannot sustain or not there where it was. So you try, of course, to build a business which would sort of run without you, right? But to exit, then when you build a bigger business, you get venture capitals, you need some investment funds, and you get competitors, much larger competitors. So we had been approached quite few times, and 2 times it was by the largest, I cannot name them because there is some non-disclosure, but by the 2 of the 3 largest IT companies in the world. And one of the offers was very fair, the way how we would value ourselves. The thing is, we were not seeking them. They came to us and we said, okay, we are not about to sell, but tell us. So, they said, okay, show us in. So they done, in both cases, the first level of the due diligence. When we said no, and it was again the consensus with my partners, we were just in Europe on vacation, and I remember that I called my 2 partners out of Spain. It was early in the morning. I said, guys, what have we done? Because, you have those fears again. What if you cannot build that business bigger? So that was at the time when we were at least half of the size of today. We didn't have that software company. Our value for sure is now much bigger than it was at that time because the decision was right. And so we are not thinking anymore about selling. We have to respect the fact that we are all humans and one day we will die. Not necessarily your kids would be interested in that business. Not necessarily you will know how to train them. Not necessarily you will have a management the families could trust, and the management would grow the company further, even though you are leaving their great colleagues who will perpetuate it for some time. So this is a tough question. But right now I think I am young, and my 2 partners are younger than me, so we keep going, And if we miss the point, so we miss the point. Most critical is not to think about when to cash the money, because you are not in the business. Well, we all want to make money because money is good. We as entrepreneurs, criticizing sometimes the rules, challenging the processes, with creativity, looking for something else. We are also thinking about freedom, like freedom to express yourself, freedom to have impact on society, on other people, to take part in the decision-making process somewhere about something. And part of that is to get some money, because then you don't need to fear that much about retirement. You can do what other people perhaps can. But that's such a small portion of that. When you reach some comfortable level, that it becomes almost irrelevant. Because think about someone who is very rich, sits on lots of millions of dollars, and Where do you go? Okay, so you go golfing. So today, Monday, you golfing. Tuesday, you golfing. You know, it's great to golf on a vacation or something, right? Or here and there, but something else, right? So you are on the beach. I'm on the beach. You read one book, second book. Then you go somewhere. Okay, you are rich. So people try to schmooze you to get your money, but you are irrelevant in the world. You are irrelevant. Only when you do something, when you put your talent and also the money, because in the company, whether you cash it or not, it's there some value. Whether you put it to some action, and you are centered to that action, you live. You know, unless you give everything up and go to the monastery, what's, by the way, another great level of entrepreneurship. You know, I mean spiritual one. So that would make sense, right? But anything else, like just thinking about selling something for selling it just to get the biggest pile of money, I don't think that this is appealing to most of the entrepreneurs at all.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was great. How many of you like that? Like, that round of applause. So I walked away with some great stuff. I'm sitting there in the audience with everybody, and I really appreciate that. You're right. It's about building something and being engaged. And you said some great things. I thought about Canada, that it's a great place to be. And of course, we have Canadian one from Niagara Falls, by the way. So
okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, really. And thank you for having me here. I am a big red wine drinker, by the way.
Absolutely, I knew that.